The quiet hum of the vortex filled the command room as the ship drifted silently away from Arcadia. Kalor stood staring out at the glowing station, a mix of emotions stirring inside him. For years he had seen countless missions, faced dangerous targets, and believed himself to be one of the best. But this mission was different. Humans had changed everything. Mira sat nearby, her eyes focused on the stars. She thought about what she had learned. The strength of humans was not just in their bodies or weapons, but in their hearts and minds. That lesson had changed her forever. Droth, the scarred assassin, leaned against the wall, quietly nodding. Even he could not deny the truth. Humans were unlike any other species in the galaxy. Back on Arcadia, Elena walked through the busy corridors, her face calm but determined. The station buzzed with life, but beneath the surface was a new feeling, a hope born from understanding. Her security team worked harder than ever, not just to protect her, but to build a future where conflict could be solved without bloodshed. Elena thought about the assassins she had met, especially Mira. She had seen courage and honesty in that young assassin's eyes, something rare in her line of work. Days later, a message arrived on the vortex. It was from Elena. "I believe this is not the end of our story," the message said. "There is much to learn from each other. Let us build a future where we fight together, not against each other." Kalor read the message aloud to his team. "A new path," he said. "One that few would have believed possible." Mira smiled. "Maybe it's the right path." The assassins were invited to Arcadia once more, not as enemies, but as guests. The station prepared to welcome them with cautious hope. When Mira and her team arrived, they were greeted not by armed guards, but by human faces filled with curiosity and respect. Elena stood before them, extending her hand. "Welcome," she said simply. Mira took the hand and felt the warmth of a new beginning. Over the following weeks, humans and assassins shared knowledge, stories, and skills. They learned about each other's worlds, strengths, and fears. The assassins taught humans new techniques of stealth and strategy, while humans shared their ideas about cooperation, hope, and spirit. It was not always easy. Old fears and doubts remained, but slowly trust grew. Kalor and Elena met many times to discuss the future. They dreamed of a galaxy where differences were respected and conflicts solved through dialogue and understanding. "We don't have to be enemies," Elena said. "Together we can face any challenge." Kalor nodded. "Humans have shown us that strength comes from more than weapons. It comes from heart." Mira found a new purpose. No longer an assassin chasing contracts, she became a messenger between worlds, helping to build bridges where once there were walls. Her journey from enemy to ally was not forgotten by her guild, but she was willing to face the consequences, because she believed in what she had seen. Humans were not just survivors, they were the hope of the galaxy. As the vortex prepared to leave Arcadia, Mira looked out at the stars, feeling a deep peace. She knew the future would not be easy. There would be challenges, battles of ideas and beliefs, but she also knew something else. Humans had taught her that no matter how dark the night, there was always a dawn, and as long as there was hope, no one was truly lost. The story of the assassin who chose understanding over violence became a legend. It was told in quiet corners of spaceports, in classrooms, and at peace talks. Even the guilds that once feared humans began to respect them, not because humans were unbeatable, but because they refused to stop fighting for what was right. The galaxy was changing, and with humans leading the way, it was a change filled with hope. In the vastness of space, many species had long lived under an unspoken rule. Strength was power, and power meant survival. The galaxy was a mosaic of worlds and civilizations, each with their own ways, some peaceful, some warlike, but all wary of what other species might do. Among them, the Galactic Council stood as the highest authority, a body where representatives met to keep peace and order. For centuries, the Council had heard of strange new beings from a small, blue planet called Earth. Few had seen humans in person, but stories traveled fast across the stars. The tales were mixed. Some spoke of humans as curious and gentle explorers. Others whispered that Earth's history was filled with brutal wars and dangerous conflicts. But none had fully understood what to make of them. Then one day, a fleet of human ships appeared at the edge of the galaxy's central spaceport. Their arrival was quiet yet impossible to ignore. The ships were unlike any other, sleek, strong, yet somehow warm in design. The humans inside looked ordinary at first. 2 arms, 2 legs, a curious face, yet their eyes held something different. A spark of kindness mixed with quiet confidence. The council sent their representatives to welcome them. When the humans stepped onto the central platform, they greeted everyone with smiles and calm voices. Their leader, a woman named Captain Mira, spoke gently but with clear purpose. "We come in peace," she said simply. "We want to share, to learn, and to build a future together." The representatives were surprised. The humans did not come as conquerors or seekers of power. Instead, they offered gifts of technology and knowledge, advanced medicine that healed diseases quickly, energy sources that did not harm the environment, and ideas about cooperation that seemed almost too good to be true. Over the following months, humans worked alongside other species. They helped fix damaged planets, taught new farming techniques, and shared their arts, music, stories, and dances that told of Earth's long and difficult history. The galaxy was charmed. For once, a species seemed to embody hope rather than fear. On the planet Arvendia, a council member named Leah watched the humans with a mixture of admiration and disbelief. "They seem so kind, so gentle," she told her colleagues. "Maybe this is what the galaxy needed all along." The humans themselves spoke often of their past. They did not hide the fact that Earth had once been a harsh place. There were wars, yes, but those times were behind them. They claimed to have learned that true strength was in kindness, in helping others, and in never giving up, even when things were hardest. One of the human diplomats, a man named Elias, shared stories with an eager crowd on Arvendia. He spoke of how humans survived the coldest winters, the driest deserts, and the darkest nights. "We are not perfect," he said, "but we believe that even monsters can choose to be gentle." The galaxy began to believe this too. Trade agreements flourished. Humans became part of joint research teams and peacekeeping missions. Their gentle ways inspired others, and their technology brought new hope to struggling worlds. Children from many species learned human languages and studied their history, but not everyone was convinced. Some species remembered the stories of Earth's past, how humans once fought terrible wars and showed a willingness to do whatever it took to survive. Some whispered that beneath their gentle smiles was a fierce, dangerous heart. Still, those doubts were quiet and ignored. The galaxy had waited so long for peace, and the humans seemed to offer it at last. As the months turned to a year, the humans' presence grew. Their ships moved through the stars like silent ambassadors. Their scientists worked tirelessly to understand alien worlds and help protect them. Their artists created beautiful works that reminded others of the power of hope. Captain Mira often spoke of balance. "We are gentle," she said, "but we are also strong. We must be. The universe is full of dangers, but we believe that kindness and strength can live together." In the Grand Hall of the Galactic Council, representatives nodded. Humanity had become a symbol of possibility, a new way forward. For now. But deep in the shadows of some distant worlds, eyes watched. Eyes that saw not kindness but something more, something waiting to be understood. The galaxy was still learning to trust the humans. Many species had welcomed them with open arms, believing the gentle words and kind actions they had seen. Yet as time passed, a few began to notice small things, subtle signs that hinted there might be more to humans than just their friendly smiles. On the bustling trade planet of Valaris, Captain Jarrow, a seasoned alien commander, observed the humans carefully. Jarrow was from a species known for their sharp eyes and even sharper minds. They had seen many visitors from distant worlds and knew that appearances could be deceiving. Jarrow watched a human named Talia negotiate with a group of Valerian traders. The humans were polite, patient, and respectful, but their eyes were always alert, calculating. Talia listened carefully, nodding thoughtfully, but there was a quiet strength in her posture that spoke of readiness. She was calm but prepared for anything. "Humans are strange," Jarrow said to his second-in-command. "They smile like friends but watch like hunters." Others began to notice these details too. In the halls of the Galactic Council, whispers spread. The humans never lost their calm, but they adapted faster than anyone expected. When a dispute arose over mining rights on the icy moon of Cretan, the humans responded with clever solutions, avoiding conflict but making sure their interests were protected. "They are patient," said Council Member Rena from the bird-like Averick species, "but also relentless. They do not give up. One night, in a quiet corner of the spaceport, a group of non-human diplomats gathered. They shared stories of their encounters with humans, how they survived deadly storms that would have destroyed other ships, how their soldiers adapted to alien environments better than any other species. Humans have survived on a planet filled with dangers, said one. Their world was once torn by war, disease, and natural disasters. They learned to be strong by being gentle. The diplomats nodded. The humans' past was both a warning and an inspiration. Back on Earth, humans told their own stories. They spoke of their ancestors' struggles, how they had survived the worst conditions by working together and never losing hope. They admitted they had fought wars, but claimed those were the lessons that shaped their kindness today. Yet behind the stories of hope, there were moments that made other species uneasy. On the frontier world of Tralis, a small human settlement was attacked by pirates. When the pirates tried to capture the colonists, the humans did not panic or run. Instead, they fought back with a skill and determination that shocked their neighbors. They used clever traps, advanced weapons, and strategies that seemed both brutal and precise. The local militia called it human fierceness, a quality that did not fit with the gentle image they had built. The pirates were driven away, but the stories of the fight spread quickly. Humans are not just gentle, a Tralis leader said. They are monsters hiding beneath smiles. Word of such battles traveled fast. The Galactic Council called for reports and investigations. They wanted to understand if the humans' kindness was true, or if it masked a darker nature. Meanwhile, on the planet Sorella, a scholar named Naro studied human behavior. Naro was fascinated by how humans could be so kind in one moment and so fierce in another. He observed that humans seemed to live with two sides, one gentle and warm, the other strong and unyielding. Naro wrote, "Humans carry the memory of their harsh past like a shield. Their kindness is real, but it is also a strategy, a way to protect themselves and their values." In the Council's grand chamber, debates grew heated. Some representatives argued that the humans' fierce nature was a threat. Others believed it was their survival instinct, nothing more. Council member Leah, who had once praised the humans' kindness, now spoke cautiously. "We must not be blinded by their gentle words. We must prepare for all possibilities." Despite the doubts, many still trusted the humans. They had brought peace to many troubled worlds and shared technology that saved millions of lives. Their presence was a gift, or so it seemed, but the humans themselves did not try to hide their complexity. Captain Mira often spoke openly about their dual nature. "We are gentle because we must be, but we are also strong because we have survived. To protect those we love, we will do whatever it takes." Her words were calm but carried weight. The galaxy began to see that humans were not simply gentle giants. They were monsters wearing gentle masks. Monsters not born of cruelty but of survival, hope, and fierce love. And this realization was only the beginning. The calm that the galaxy had come to associate with humanity was about to be tested. The peace many had hoped for would soon be challenged by a threat that forced the humans to reveal a side few had seen before. It began on the mining colony of DEATHWORLD. Dravis was rich in valuable minerals, a prize for many species in the galaxy. Humans had recently established a small settlement there, bringing their advanced mining equipment and promising to share profits with local species. But not everyone was pleased. A powerful alien faction called the Krathar claimed control over Dravis and demanded the humans leave. At first, the humans tried to negotiate. Captain Mira and her team sent messages of peace and cooperation, hoping to avoid conflict. The Krathar responded with threats and displays of military power. Their warships loomed over Dravis like dark clouds. The Galactic Council urged calm. They hoped the humans would find a peaceful way out, but the humans had learned hard lessons from their own history. They knew when to be gentle and when to be strong. Captain Mira's voice remained calm as she addressed her crew. "We must protect our people and our values, but we will do so without losing who we are." When the Krathar attacked, the humans did not panic. Instead, they used everything they had learned about survival, strategy, and technology. The battle began with precision strikes. Human ships moved with silent grace, disabling enemy weapons with pinpoint accuracy. They did not destroy everything, only what was needed to protect their colony. On the ground, human defenders fought with skill and determination. Their tactics were unlike anything the Krathar had faced. Humans set traps and used the environment to their advantage. They moved swiftly, striking hard and disappearing before the enemy could respond. For many species watching from afar, it was a shock. The human's gentle image was shattered. Lieutenant Karan, a Krathar commander, said bitterly, "They fight like monsters, but they wear the masks of angels." Despite being outnumbered, the humans held their ground. Their calm resolve became a kind of weapon. They did not rage or scream. They simply acted with ruthless efficiency. Across the galaxy, news of the battle spread quickly. Some saw the humans as heroes defending peace. Others saw something darker, a species that hid monsters beneath their gentle faces. In the Galactic Council, the mood shifted. Meetings became more tense. Many members questioned if the humans could truly be trusted. Council member Rena spoke firmly. "We welcome them as gentle allies. But their true nature is now clear. They are warriors when it suits them." Captain Mira faced the council calmly. "We did what was necessary to protect innocent lives. We do not seek war, but we will never surrender to threats." She explained that humans had survived because they learned to be both kind and fierce. Their history was filled with challenges, and they had chosen to use all their strength, not just their kindness, to protect what mattered. The council was divided. Some feared that humans were too dangerous. Others believed that their fierce protection of peace was exactly what the galaxy needed. Meanwhile, on Dravis Prime, the humans began rebuilding. They helped the local species recover from the battle and worked to create alliances. Their technology repaired damaged cities and healed injured creatures. In one quiet moment, Captain Mira walked among her people. She saw the hope in their eyes, but also the weight of responsibility. She knew that their gentle mask had been broken, and the galaxy would never see them the same way again. But she also believed that strength and kindness could live together. Back on Earth, the story was different, but the same. Humans had faced threats like this before. When danger came, they did not always fight with rage, but with careful strategic power. They fought not because they wanted to, but because they had to survive and protect their home. Now, in the stars, humans were doing the same. In the weeks that followed, humans began training allies from other species. They shared their tactics and technology, teaching others how to defend themselves without losing their compassion. One of Captain Mira's closest officers, Lieutenant Zara, said, "We must show the galaxy that being fierce does not mean being cruel. We fight monsters by becoming monsters, but gentle ones." The galaxy was learning a new lesson. Humans were not simple beings of peace or war. They were a balance of both, a race that had chosen kindness as a mask, but was always ready to reveal the monster beneath, if it meant protecting what they cared for. This revelation changed how the galaxy viewed humanity. No longer were they just the gentle giants. They were something more complex, something both beautiful and terrifying. As the Krathar retreated, the galaxy held its breath. Humans had won the battle, but the war for trust had only just begun. The question remained, could the galaxy accept humans as they truly were? Gentle on the surface, but fierce and unyielding beneath? For now, the answer was uncertain. The Galactic Council chamber was filled with tension. Voices rose and fell like waves crashing against the walls, a storm of disagreement and doubt. The arrival of humans had once been seen as a hopeful chapter for the galaxy. Now it was a question of survival, trust, and truth. Council members from every corner of the galaxy had gathered to decide what to do about the humans. Some saw them as dangerous. Others believed their strength was exactly what the galaxy needed. Council member Leah, the Avrix diplomat who had first praised humanity's kindness, stood quietly at the edge of the chamber. She listened as the arguments grew louder. "We cannot ignore what we have seen," said Rena, the bird-like representative. "Humans fought like monsters on Dravis Prime. Their strength is terrifying." "They are survivors," another voice argued. "They protect their own fiercely. That is why they live." The debate was intense. Some demanded the humans be watched closely, even controlled. Others feared that such actions would cause more harm than good. Into this storm of voices stepped Captain Mira. She had been invited to speak before the council, to explain her people's nature and intentions. The chamber fell silent as she entered. Her calm presence was like a wave of cool water on a hot day. "Honorable members of the Galactic Council," Mira began, her voice steady and clear. "We understand your fears. Humans have a history of conflict just as many species do. But we have also learned something important. Kindness and strength must go hand in hand. She looked around the chamber, making eye contact with many who still held doubt. We wear a mask of gentleness because it helps us survive in a galaxy filled with danger. But beneath that mask lies the truth of our nature. Strong, determined, willing to protect those we love. Mira paused, letting her words sink in. We do not seek war. We seek peace. But we will not surrender our values or our people to threats. She spoke of Earth's past, the wars that shaped humanity, the hardships they overcame, and the lessons they learned. We became gentle not because we are weak, but because we choose to be better. We fight only when necessary. Her words were met with silence. Some nodded slowly. Others frowned, still unsure. Council member Zorak, a towering figure from the Krathor faction, rose. His voice was deep and full of anger. You claim to seek peace, yet your actions on Dravis Prime were ruthless. You fought like monsters. Mira met his gaze without fear. We fought to protect innocent lives, not to conquer. Sometimes being a monster is necessary to stop monsters worse than ourselves. The room grew quiet again. The debate was far from over, but something had changed. After the meeting, Leah approached Mira quietly. Your words carry truth, but the galaxy fears what it does not understand. Mira smiled softly. Then we must help them understand. Not just with words, but with actions. In the weeks that followed, humans increased their efforts to build trust. They shared more of their technology, helped repair damaged worlds, and worked with other species on joint missions. Their gentle side was on full display, but they did not hide their strength. Human trainers worked with allies, teaching tactics and strategies that combined kindness and power. They showed that true strength was not cruelty but control, the ability to protect without losing compassion. Some species remained wary. On the distant world of Venara, a council of elders debated fiercely. We must prepare for the day the humans turn their strength against us, warned one elder. Others disagreed. Their kindness is real. We must give them a chance. The galaxy was at a crossroads. Meanwhile, deep in the human fleet, Captain Mira reflected on the council's words. She knew the galaxy's fear was not just of humans, but of what humans represented. A reminder that strength and kindness were not opposites, but partners. We are not perfect, she told her crew, but we are learning, growing. The galaxy will come to understand us in time. She looked out the window at the stars, shining like distant fires. We must be both gentle and fierce. Only then can we survive. And so the galaxy's reckoning continued, a test not just of humans, but of all who lived among the stars. The truth about humanity was out. They were monsters wearing gentle masks. But in that truth lay a new hope. A hope that strength could be kind and kindness could be strong. The question was no longer if humans could be trusted. It was whether the galaxy could accept the complex truth of who they really were. For the first time, many wondered if the future might be brighter because of it.